Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and his son Yahusha Mashiach. My name is Malak Shalomu. Today is the 17th of August 2024. It's 4:23 p.m. Eastern Time. And right now I'm in a live paper trade on Bitcoin. So this is just a follow-up video from the previous video where I was breaking down the Black Sun strategy entry. And this entry was around, where is it? Somewhere around here. Right, so that's my break-even point. My stop is at break-even right now. Right now it's losing RTH VWAP, so that's why I started another video. So this is a it came down here almost to my take profit, and I also moved my take profit down because of this retest lower, creating a lower high compared to this. And I think we're gonna get some movement down to this area here, right? Where sellers, some buyers came in here previously. So this is a Euro session deviation, VWAP deviation. This is a RTH, the yellow. So let me narrate this properly. So that purple slash pink line is the dash line is the Euro session. I gotta take this off and then highlight it. So that's -1 VWAP. Right, this one here is -3 from the RTH session. So this one up here is -2 from the RTH session, and this one is -1. So right now we're heading to -1, trying to get a breakdown of Euro session VWAP and -1 on the RTH deviation. So I think this trade is gonna work out now if it doesn't start. Excuse me one second. If it doesn't start creating like a range here. So right now we in a little kind of range right now. Right, so we need a little breakout of this, and this trade could possibly get down to even this region here. So it depends on how well it breaks down. You know what I mean? And then it could enter like a bigger range here. Right? So it could come down to the bottom of this range. So all of this here could be a range. Not seeing any follow through to the upside. So Camarilla Archery, the Black Sun strategy with the upper deviations. Remember, these were the +2 deviations from ETH, which is the dash red, Euro session, which is the dash purple, and the dash yellow is RTH session +2. So it's a +2 region where we got the short from that correlated with Camarilla Archery. So that's my strategy. I use Camarillas and VWAPs, not only Camarillas, but levels in general, like market profile levels, Camarilla pivots, floor pivots, to kind of have like, it's like, I guess it's a convergence of different indicators, you know, converging at this area here, creating that selling pressure or rejection level. And some people don't really believe in the Camarilla pivots and stuff like that, but somebody does here, because look at the liquidity where it is, right? So this liquidity was directly just below Camarilla R3, right? At 59,635, and Camarilla R3 is at 59,646. So I think somebody is paying attention to it, because from my observation, they create like a structure within the market, you know what I mean? And it's a forward indicating formula, you know. It calculates moving forward, not lagging, you know what I'm saying? So some of these oscillators and stuff like that as indicators, they're kind of lagging in price, you know what I'm saying? I think moving averages are lagging in price, right? Because it has to calculate like the price, and then it shows, you know, what calculation it's giving, right? At what level. So I think the same as with VWAP. VWAP is kind of lagging, but it's more in the present. You know what I'm saying? But I think EMAs and SMAs are kind of lagging, and others like what's it called? I forgot. Bollinger Bands or the MACD. I think the MACD is like a lagging indicator. But these here, these are just plotted forward. Like you each day at the end of the session, in the new session, it creates new pivot levels, and those levels kind of correlate them compared to the last session's levels, so you could get like a overlapping. Stop it, Nitro. Now, hold on. Let me take a drink of water here. All right, so let me just open this here so I can show you what I'm talking about. So you see I have C, R3, OV, HV, right? So that's Camarilla R3 overlapping higher value. So this means that this here has moved up in value, and Camarilla S3 has also moved up in value, but it has not moved above the prior day's Camarilla R3. So it's overlapping higher value. Now, if the Camarilla S3 had moved up above where the prior Camarilla R3 was, then it'll be higher value. But if you want to know more about Camarillas and stuff, just go to Amazon, and you could probably try and search for the book called Pivot Boss by Frank Ochoa, right? So once you get that book, read that book, and it'll break down all the floor pivots, market profile, and Camarilla pivots, how they're constructed, the formulas they use, and how to actually trade them, and what each kind of configuration means day to day, because it's like a 2-day configuration. You go off of the prior days to the present day's configuration, and it gives you like a sentiment of whether it's bullish or bearish. So within this sentiment here, where it's overlapping higher value, it's moderately bullish, right? So when it's moderately bullish, it's like it's exactly what it says. You know what I'm saying? It's moderately bullish, meaning that this could be a rejection area. We could get bullishness up to this area and then probably have like a mean reversion. If it's higher value, then you might get a lot of buying pressure, and it might break out to like Camarilla R4 and stuff like that. So this is what we're having here. We're having moderately bullish price action coming up to Camarilla R3, and in an overlapping higher value relationship, this could be rejection, a rejection point, Camarilla R3, or it could be a breakout, retest, and go point, right? So you just have to look at the trend, look at the market, look at what price action is telling you, and look at the level and see what it's doing at that level to confirm whether it's a breakout and go, or is it a false breakout and rejection, which I think it is, because it's lining up with the +2 VWAPs, and that's creating the short. All right, so let's see here. So we had a retest. Where is it? Right, so we almost came to my stop. Right, we came up here to like around 59,514. My stop is up here at 59,548, roughly. Probably a little, yeah, 59,547 or 548, yeah. And now we're breaking down RTH VWAP again. Also +1 VWAP on the ETH from the ETH session. We're coming down here now to the Euro session VWAP, right? And also the -1 on the RTH session. So I decided to put all these bands and connect them, anchor them to the beginning of each session. So RTH session, the Euro session, and then the art. Sorry. So anchoring from the ETH session, the Euro session, and then the RTH session. So I color code them. This one here is the Euro session. Yellow is the RTH and red is the ETH, right? All right, so we had this big liquidity here. We interacted. This is kind of like support turning into resistance because I think they did interact here, right? So they did interact here, right? And they came back into the book. So this liquidity now could now turn into resistance. You know what I'm saying? Because we had a breakthrough and they came right back in. So I don't know if they flip their position or what, but we're gonna see if it's gonna become resistance right now. And again, this is your session on VWAP at 59,329. All right, let's open this up and see how we interact here. This liquidity on the offer. And also structurally speaking, this could be a retest of this breakdown area here. So right here, this breakdown area could be a retest. I don't think they'll get above this liquidity though. But in the general area, it's just market structure breakdown retest. All right, so we do the swoop down and we come back up. All right, so the CVD is moving up, price change is moving to the upside. And that's the market pulse. There's the market pulse price change. You see it's going to the right side. That's the buy side. This side here is the sell side. We just hit in 74%. When it hits 70%, that's when you start hearing the drums and the ticks, the sounds it makes when price is moving. So I have it set where drums are for selling and more of a tick sound is for buying. And if it comes in again, I'm gonna just turn on the desktop audio on OBS and you should be able to hear it. Right, looking for this right here. Exhaustion on the offer just above this liquidity right here on the offer. So we're seeing they're not hitting the offer right here. That red line, that's the ask. The green line down here, that's the bid. Right below price there, that's the bid. So we have 97 here on the offer. Let's see if some buyers want to take on this here. Right, so they pulled. So these guys here interacted here, but they pulled it from here. So I don't think they want to interact to create resistance. So maybe we'll come back up to VWAP. All right, they came back in the book, but that's looking suspect. Let me open this up a little more. Right, so you can see the minutia right here. They didn't interact. They pulled just before these guys stepped into this level here at 59,399. And as soon as price is moving away, they're coming back in the book. So that means I can't depend on them for resistance because they're not gonna really be there. They're just gonna pull. So they're not gonna absorb any buying that's coming up here. right, let's pull this back out. We have a 2-minute interval here between these lines, so we'll work with that for now. And the reason why I'm zoomed in this close is because I want to see what's happening here at this level. And I'm gonna throw on the song now because the market pulse is stomping again. All right, so let me turn off the desktop audio, so because sometimes when I have that on and I'm talking at the same time, it starts cracking up my audio. So what I was pointing out here with the question mark is there's volume price change is signifying we're moving down, right, on the sub chart, and we're here in the song, right, but we're not seeing any follow through, right? We're stopping right here at -1 VWAP from the RTH. We gotta have some big sellers to take us below Euro session VWAP. All right, so the CVD here I'm pointing out is when it's blue like this, it's still in a bullish sentiment, right? Let me just point this out here. Boom, go to settings. So you see I have positive values, blue, negative values, yellow. So once the CVD is blue, it's in positive value. So we're still in this uptrend here. Need this to start when price starts breaking certain levels, this is going to turn into yellow. That's when the trade will really be in swing, you know what I'm saying? Right, so we stop in here at Euro session VWAP. This is also a support level -1 for RTA session deviation. And this here is VWAP ETH session. This is this VWAP here at 59,262. So from the beginning of the session yesterday, this is like the mean. So I definitely want to start breaking down this level here so we can start getting into more sellers territory. And for the RTH session, this is a -2. This is a support level here. So this whole area right here could be a potential support area for this trade. And let me see here, pull this out a little bit. All right, so for me to trail my stop down to around these levels here, I needed to break down from this level, 59,272 or VWAP ETH. Right, so we have that heavy liquidity here stepping in at that ETH level. This is the IB low, IB30 low. So that's the 30-minute IB. And my take profit is down here at RTH minus 3 deviation on the VWAP. Let me just show you here. I have a simultaneous paper trade on TradingView. So this is from a charting candle chart perspective. So you can see we got big sellers jumping in there now. We got to break down this level here at 59,290. Or the I below around 272, somewhere around here. And the CVD is showing that it's still in bullish territory, because if you pull a trend line here, you can see we're basically still bullish, right? Or let's say we could do a channel. Hold on. All right, so let's say that's the channel right there. We're coming down around here, volume point of control. I'm thinking maybe I should take profit around here, but we'll see. When it starts to break down, we'll see. And this could also be like you can see here value area high overlapping lower value. This could be a support area as well, because you see we got the buyers here from this is also, is it the weekly? I don't think I made the adjustment. Let me just make sure. Let me just make sure everything is intact. Let me open the market profile. Where are you? All right. All right, so last week's value area high. Right, so that needs to be adjusted. That's not correct there. Let me see. Let me see. Where are you? Anyway, let me don't do all of that right now. Let me keep it simple. My charts are already messy, so I don't want to confuse people and stuff. So we're just basically waiting for the breakdown here. We're gonna test the bottom of this channel somewhere at the mid, or we're gonna get buyers and bouncing from right from here, like around 59,266. And if we go back over to Bookmap, 266 is right around that VWAP right there. So let me go back down. Let's zoom in. And it's roughly right just above this VWAP right here. So that ETA session VWAP is basically the bottom of the channel. Right, so right here. So let's see if we maintain the bullish structure. We have a little, let me see, I could draw another line from here. for this channel within a channel. Right, so we got this channel within the channel here. This could be like a retest of that level, and you see we get buyers right there. So maybe buyers want to step in, create like a higher low, and keep going. But we're working here now with this lower high right here off of these levels. So we got to break this low right here, and we got to break the initial balance low to turn it around for it to be a downtrend now. Again, buyers here, let's go to the bookmap. Right, so that's not too good. We get buyers here at Euro session VWAP. So this liquidity is coming back into play now, so they're still in the game. Last time we had this small rejection right there, exhaustion, and we pushed down. So let's see what's happening this time. Right, the buying is looking weak, but the funny thing about Bitcoin is that buyers appear out of nowhere sometimes. I'm still looking at they're not really hitting the ask. It's not really that aggressive, right? Buyers not that aggressive. We had buyers here before, so in this area here, let's see if we have buyers again here. These guys pulling as I said they would. All right, so what I'm pointing out here is at this level here, where the liquidity was, we could either get like a breakdown here or now a push up to this VWAP. Sellers stepping in, you see the liquidity come back in. So when I see stuff like this, I think this guy here is shorting. Now the reason he might be pulling is because if he comes back up here, he's gonna get stopped out, right? So he doesn't want to get stopped out. He's pulling, he's kind of trying to cap price here, keep price away from that liquidity. When they do come up though, he starts shorting, right? So he's shorting into these guys here, so they can't buy anymore. And then he's overwhelming them, and that's how you get the drop down, and he comes back in the book. And as you can see here, he's stair stepping down, right? So he's putting pressure on the buyers, right? You see them coming in, see him coming in right there, putting pressure right above, just on the ask, on the offer. All right, so this video is another 30-minute video. That's an update on the trade so far. So let me just pull it back out, see where we're at. Or let's go over here. So right here we have let's see. This is a lower high, retest, lower high, lower high, lower high if that stays, right? We got a higher low here that we got to break down. On this level here, we got to break down IB low. We're going to run into the volume point of control, and I'm trying to get to the overnight mid right here. Right, so we'll see if the trade works out. All right, so again, you can see this guy is here. He's not interacting, but he's trying to cap price, right? When it pulls up to his level, he's pulling, shorting, and then putting the liquidity back in the book. See how he's flashing there to show that it's like flashing not to come up here, you know, it's like a warning sign, you know what I mean? All right, so the stop is still above here, above the structure at 59,548, somewhere around there. And we're trying to get that breakdown, that follow through to the downside here. Right, from right here, we want to get a follow through down. This is the volume point of control on BOOKMAP 59220. So I'll give you all an update as to whether this trade was successful or not. So my take profit is at roughly 59,157, right? Just above overnight mid. All right, y'all, it's Malak Shalomo. I'll give you all an update later on. Blessings.